We've got ourselves a 1-1 series with Portland evening things up tonight in Denver. Despite the scoring troubles of Damian Lillard, who finished with just 14, it was enough as the Blazers go into the Mile High City and build a 17-point lead. Nearly give it away at the end, but hold on to win it by 7. Welcome to our Atlanta studios with the Hall of Famer Grant Hill. The Czar, Mike Fratello, I'm Jared Greenberg. We're going to take you back to Denver, and you're going to want to stick with us to hear these post-game press conferences. There's going to be a lot to dissect from this game, which was strange from the get-go. We'll hear from the coaches, the players at the podium inside the locker room, and we want your thoughts here, guys, on a game that you look at the stat sheet, and it's a good thing we watched it because it makes absolutely no sense that Portland won this game. You get 14 from Lillard, only 20 from McCollum. The Blazers shoot 9 of 29 from 3 and somehow seem to be in control, Grant, of this entire game.
Yeah, they were in control. And from the start, I mean, they came out, jumped on Denver right away. The statistics don't say, okay, this will be a Portland win, but Denver just shot worse. I mean, they really could not get it going offensively, particularly in that fourth quarter. But and the second quarter, they had a horrible second quarter there as well, the Nuggets. But Portland just just took care of business, came out with a sense of purpose, hit some shots early, had 6 guys in double figures, so there was some good balance there. They didn't need a superhuman performance from Lillard and McCollum. They just needed them to be solid, and they were. And they were able to just sort of grind it out, kind of with toughness there, and get a good win on the road here in Game 2.
As we talked on the pregame show, we focus so much on Portland and where else they're going to get contributions from. And we also pointed out that as much as you need the others to support Lillard, you also need to find a defensive presence to stop what Jokic did and Murray did in Game 1. So I'm going to ask you a very loaded question. I'm guessing as a coach you're going to tell me a little bit of both, but we'll dissect it throughout our postgame show. Was this better Portland defense than Game 1, or is this just plain and simply bad offense by the Nuggets?
It was a combination of both.
There you go. There's
like
the
you wanted to hear. I wish I would have kept the chart from the beginning of the game. How many Denver shots were on the rim and rolled off? And then they tipped it again and it rolled off. Some nights you just get the roll where it rolls into the basket. Tonight, they could not get one to roll in. Both teams shot horrendously from the floor at halftime, whether it was 2-pointers or 3-pointers. It was just an ugly game. But yet, from the standpoint of turnovers, only 8 total turnovers at halftime, which they were playing pretty good basketball that way, but they couldn't get shots to go down.
Yeah, it's amazing, Coach. There really was a lid on the basket. Denver, I don't know if it's bad offense or just sort of just bad luck, but they got their shots, and certainly and a lot of those tip-ins as well, and it was surprising, and we've seen it happen in the playoffs before. Teams just, the other night, Toronto at home, they had a situation where they couldn't hit shots, but give Portland credit. They did enough to get that win.
I think what you're going to see is more of the games turning into a game like tonight's game, where the teams are starting to get heated up, starting to get upset about the physicalness of the games.
Yeah.
The referees are doing the best they can to control the games. We saw more injuries tonight.
Yep.
We saw a fight break out. Okay, that really wasn't the guy's fault that everybody thought it was. It was actually Jokic shoving Kanter into one of Jokic's teammates, okay? And all of that, and I think we're going to see it escalating the aggressiveness in these games and the pressure that's on these guys.
Well, I mean, it obviously, Coach, speaks to the sense of urgency here in the playoffs, and also just, the intensity, the physicality sort of going up a notch. And we've seen that. I mean, it's been that way 20, 30 years ago. It's that way now, and that's good. That's good basketball. I heard Kevin McHale talking about this is, even though it's ugly, but this is what playoff basketball is about. Both teams fighting, competing, leaving it all out there, and they did. And I like the as a guy who played in the 90s, I liked a little bit of that physicality there. It brought back some good memories.
And it's interesting, after Game 1, Damian Lillard said, maybe the referees were a bit of a distraction. We need to go out and play our own brand of basketball and worry about the things that we worried about in the first round series, which got them past OKC, which was focusing on their opponent. As bad as Denver was at times tonight, and they were pretty brutal, in the fourth quarter, they've got an opportunity to win this game. And check out the rebounding numbers. We're all sitting here watching this saying, oh my goodness, another rebound. 24-5 Denver out-rebounded Portland in the fourth quarter, and 14 offensive rebounds. That's going to anger the head coach of the Denver Nuggets. Here's Mike Malone live at the podium.
Coach, seemed like you guys in the back. Seemed like you guys were getting some open shots. Was this just sort of a process versus results type of a game?
Yeah, I mean, we, you go 6 of 29 from the three. At halftime, we were 4 of 20. Got some good looks, but I felt in that first half especially, if you're not making shots, maybe attack the basket, maybe get to the foul line, maybe get to the rim. And we were getting such open looks. I understood our players shooting the shot, but when you're not having a night where you're making shots consistently, you got to attack the basket. You got to put pressure on the rim. You got to think attack instead of settle. And I thought in that first half, we didn't have that mindset. I thought they were the aggressor in the first half. They were much more physical in the first half, but extremely proud of our guys in that second half. We fought. And I think Torrey Craig is the unsung hero of the game. That guy's got some balls. He's got toughness. Yeah, I'll go to war with that kid any day. He leaves it all on the floor every night. And we can't pick our spots when we do that. We can't pick to play like that for just a half in game 2 of the second round. That's got to be for 48 minutes. And that was the most disappointing thing about tonight. We brought it in the second half, but in the first half it was not there.
I know you've got to look at the film and obviously reflect on this one, but right off the bat, any big adjustments that need to be made for game 2, or is it just kind of the things you talked about, maybe attacking the rim more if those shots aren't falling? I
mean, our defense was great. I mean, we held them to 97 points, 42 from the field, 31 from 3. They shot 48% in that first quarter. After that, it was 40 for the rest of the game. So really, it's just about us making shots. We had 90 points. If you think about the 4 losses we've had in the postseason now, we're shooting 32% from 3 in our losses. So, not to oversimplify it, but it's a make-or-miss league. We couldn't make a shot. I mean, Gary and Jamal tonight go 2 for 13 from 3. Our starting backcourt got some good looks. The shots didn't go down. But I do love the fact that our guys competed at such a high level, at least gave ourselves a chance, and at least played the way we need to play. But now the challenge is doing that for as close to 48 as possible.
Coach, you talked about how fatigue is not an excuse you guys use, but with Nikola playing 86 minutes over the last 2 games, how much of that was a factor in terms of him not being able to convert from the field as often as he has in the playoffs so far?
I'm not sure. I'm sure fatigue is a part of it, but McCollum played 41, Dame played 38. Nicola's going to keep playing heavy minutes. They double-teamed him almost every time tonight. And when you put 2 on the ball and you can't make them pay by making shots, it's going to be a really effective defense. And just go back to the San Antonio series. They doubled them. It was really effective until we made 15 threes in game 3, 15 threes in game 4, and 14 threes in game 5. They stopped doubling them after that. So in order for us to make them pay, you got to make shots. And tonight we had a hard time doing so.
Did Torrey say anything to you at halftime about his availability, or what did the doctors say when you guys went back there for the break?
They were checking to see, fit him for his mask, see if he was going to be able to breathe okay, stop the bleeding, and to see, test his movement out and how his head felt. And I told him, I said, listen, if you can't go, you don't have to be Willis Reed for us. We got game 3 coming up on Friday. But what I love about him, that kid is not going to allow me to keep him off the court. He goes in a game, first play, comes up with a rebound. He hits a 3. I hope that's contagious. And we had some guys, like Will Barton had 11 rebounds tonight. So we did some good things, but, not making shots over 4 quarters was really, I think, the big difference in this game. Really good defense. We out rebounded them by 11. We didn't get hurt with, points off turnovers, but, just couldn't make a damn shot.
What was your perspective on that little skirmish that happened in the fourth quarter? What did you see happening about to hold it up quickly?
Well, I'm just trying to, play peacemaker. I don't want anything like that happening in this series. 2 very good basketball teams and watching those 2 plays, there was nothing dirty about it. In the first play, it's an inadvertent, and Torrey falls and winds up hitting, I think, Monte Morris's knee. There's nothing dirty about that. That's an unfortunate bounce for Torrey Craig. In the second one, Nikola and Cantor are, tangled up in the paint. And, Cantor goes flying up the floor and runs into Torrey. But I don't think there's any malice in either one of those plays. But listen, both of these teams are trying to get to the Western Conference Finals. It's going to be hard fought. It's going to be physical. But there's nothing dirty about it, and I respect that.
Jamal was limping around a little bit. Was that related to the knee he took from Pirtle last series, or is that something new? Do you know?
No, I think it is. I think it's just that right thigh area. Obviously, I think it's still probably sore and bruised from last series, and he probably got hit there again. So he'll just have to get treatment for the next couple of days and try to loosen it up so he can play as effective as possible come Friday night in Game 3.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, everybody.